Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Peaceful Currents Energy Insights with Jody. I hope you enjoyed my intro video. I have to apologize. I'm still learning about creating videos, and I didn't want to wait until I was perfect at everything before getting my message out there. But I did learn that I cannot do pauses while recording using the camera app on my laptop. I'm going to have to learn to use a video editing program in order to piece together things, because if I stop, it just stops the video and I've got multiple pieces to weave back together. So I'm going to be exploring all that in the coming days. So hopefully we won't have any more two-part videos that are so short there really is no need to be in two parts. But that's the learning curve. I'm not perfect, and none of us should expect to be perfect at anything, especially when we first start. So I'm on a learning journey. Hopefully you're cool with that. If not, then I'm probably not the best person for you to watch, because when I'm excited about something and passionate about sharing things that I've learned to empower others, I'm not going to wait till I'm perfect before I share, and I'm going to be honest with you about mistakes that I've made and dead ends that I've run into and detours. We all learn and grow that way. It's part of being human. So, last video, two videos that I did, was talking about my journey and all the different steps I've been through and the various systems I've explored. And I know part of the reason my friends have encouraged me to just reach out and speak to you is because the thing they enjoy about interactions when we're all in a group is that I've tried so many different things, and wherever they're at, there's probably something I've learned or explored or understand that I can share with them that will help them where they're at. None of them are interested in all the same things as I am, but if there's ever something I can share to help another person grow or get through this life more easily or find peace or joy or inspiration, that's my goal. I'm more of a way shower than I am a practitioner who's going to treat you. I tried having a, a practice while I was working full time. I had a practice on the side where I was doing energy work and booking sessions, and I didn't really like being in the business side of it at all. I like continuing to learn new things and integrate everything as I go and finding bits and pieces that might help people. And running a business takes a lot of time and energy, and there's the whole bookkeeping side of it, the physical part of having the space, and the laundry of cleaning all the linens every time you use your healing table. I mean, it's a lot of different work than what I'm interested in. My journey actually with energy and finding peace began with my meditation practice, which I started when I was dealing with like a near fatal diagnosis for my spouse at the time. And I was really terrified and didn't know where our life was going. I thought I knew, but everything just kind of blew up overnight with losing a house and having to move in with family, trying to find doctors who could figure out what was really going on and what were his chances of survival. And it was all happening right at Christmas, and another family member had a mental breakdown and was in the hospital at the same week that we had just moved. It was overwhelming. So I started something I had learned by going to ARE workshops and a couple of Unity Church services, which was that daily meditation can really help calm and center and focus you. So I started, and I'd get up in the morning and go to a quiet place. I was the first one up in the household, which really helps if it's quiet, and it like at 5:30 in the morning. And I would sit in the same chair in the family room at the same time every day for the same amount of time. And I think that helped me a lot. And many people find that having that ritual, even if you don't feel like you succeed in the actual meditation itself, that ritual will start to kind of signal to your brain and your nervous system what's about to happen. Just like sleep experts say, you should try to go to bed at the same time every night, and it just it becomes a practice that your body recognizes, or your brain, whatever. It seemed to work for me. And what I did was I said, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes. I set a small kitchen timer because at that time I didn't have a smartphone or anything. I said, I'm just going to do this for 15 minutes. And every morning for 15 minutes, I would sit with my eyes closed and repeat this mantra that I just came up with for myself, which was, I am at peace. And I would just repeat that in my mind whenever my mind would start to wander and listen to noises of the house or worry about something going on at work that day or the grocery list or whatever. I would just repeat the mantra in my mind again, I'm at peace. And eventually it became easier and easier to just be in that peaceful, still place. Now, you definitely want to try to meditate where people aren't going to be yelling, hey, mom, or the dog isn't going to run up and jump on you because they think it's time to go for a walk. You need to find a place physically where you won't be interrupted, because that'll just make it 10 times harder. And generally for me, it was always early in the morning. The earlier, the better. Even my dogs learned over time that when I would get up and go sit like in my meditation spot and not turn the lights on, that it wasn't time to eat or go anywhere yet, and they would just lay down and wait. So you need to figure out what works for you. Sitting up is recommended. When you lay down, you're likely going to go to sleep, which if you need sleep, that's great, but you're not going to achieve the same altered state of calmness and inner reflection if you're asleep. It's like two different things going on in your body. So having some kind of a routine, it doesn't have to be 15 minutes. It can be 8 minutes. It can be half an hour. It can be whatever you feel you can stick to, and try doing that every day for, say, 30 days. See if you can find a habit, a time that works. It might be on your lunch hour. For a number of months, a couple of years ago, I would go out to my car on my lunch break from work, and I'd park way far away from everyone, maybe under a tree if I could find a place in the parking lot. And I'd put in my headphones and listen to meditations that were guided meditations where there was music and a voice kind of taking me on this inner journey. And I would do that at my lunch hour. You might find something like that works for you. You may be able to go to a room in your workplace. You'll figure it out when you're ready and the time is right, but there's no right or wrong way. Oh gosh, I remember now. I worked at a large engineering company for a while, and people wanted me to start a meditation group. So there were 3 of us, and we found this old file room, which is just a narrow room with just rows and rows of file cabinets of like archived paper files. And I knew about it because I had to find a document in there once, but hardly anyone ever used it. And I got the key for that room, and we got folding chairs, and we would go into this file room on our lunch breaks at the office. And I had a little portable tape player, and I'd put on a guided meditation, and we would meditate together. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to be quiet and hopefully uninterrupted. And what happens is, as your body gets used to slowing down and calming down and focusing within, you start to feel a peace and a stability and a bit of wisdom or knowingness, like you're really connected to source, whatever that is for you. For me, source, divine, God, whatever terminology, doesn't matter. It's about you feeling connected to that source of wisdom that's within you and available to you all the time. But if you're like busy, busy, busy and thinking and doing and going, you don't always hear or sense that. It's very subtle. And over the years, I meditated every day. As I indicated, I started back in my 20s for more than 20 years. And then I got into a new practice, which was doing Qigong in the morning, which is like a moving meditation for healing. And my sitting meditation kind of lapsed because I couldn't find time to do both because I was still working. But anything that brings you that sense of stillness and peace is going to work. For you, it might be moving meditation. There are people that meditate when they walk or when they go swimming. For my mom, she went swimming every single day up until she was in her early 80s because that was where she meditated. She would do slow laps, sometimes just float on her back and just get into that place. So you may find a system other than sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged on a meditation cushion or whatever that works. The regularity of it and the feeling of rightness, that it's the right way for you, that's what counts. I really, in addition to just sitting quietly, I really like listening to guided meditations where somebody with a really skillful voice and story kind of takes you on a journey, to a familiar place or to a beach or down a set of stairs into a garden or whatever it might be. Swimming, you're swimming with the dolphins and seeing the answers on the sea floor bottom, whatever. There are millions of guided meditations which will get you focused on just this journey and this inner imaginatory place that will also soothe your system and strengthen that ability of your mind to shut out all the outer stuff. So there are a lot of different ways to explore this. There are great beginner books and beginner videos. I'm not going to be doing a meditation instruction per se right now on this channel. If people are interested, I might consider doing a couple online classes like that, and I'm going to do a few guided meditations as part of this channel. I do have one that's a favorite of mine that's based on my Northern Lights deck, which I will be sharing as a separate video, that kind of takes you on a journey where you show up at a lodge with a bunch of your friends, and each of your friends brings a dog, and all these dogs then are harnessed up to your sled, and you go on a journey as a musher with all these dogs with you. And when you come back from the journey, your friends are waiting for you, and you share with them what you learned as you went. So that's a guided meditation. As I say, you can do silent meditation. You might find a piece of music that you like. There's lots of stuff out there music-wise. It's soothing, like instrumental, ambient, new age, whatever category it might end up being. And you may find that you really like a certain piece of music, and if you put that on for 15 or 20 minutes, you feel like you can still your mind and go into a meditative state, which is great because there's no right or wrong way to do this. Some people get into a meditative state through chanting, and chanting can be everything from some of the Eastern Indian kind of chants where you're chanting actual Sanskrit words and tones. There can be chants that are in English that I've heard choirs sing. There are just a lot of different ways that music and the repetitiveness of a chant can kind of get you into that altered state. Just like hearing a mantra or a statement or a word in your mind can get you into that state. The whole point is to just focus in on one thing and not be darting off and dealing with a lot of other thoughts and worries and problems. It's to focus. Some people meditate with just like staring at a candle flame or a flower or some kind of an image that's meaningful to them. So they're meditating with their eyes open. Again, people that walk and swim are meditating. There are labyrinths that some organizations have built. I know there's one at a church nearby to me that you can go out and walk this labyrinth slowly because you're focused just on that one thing. You're fully present in the moment, which is what the mindfulness movement is also all about. Mindfulness and meditation are very similar. The idea is to focus on one thing, be present in the here and now, and just listen to whatever inner wisdom is available right then. and it can be marvelous. I've noticed over the years, during my first 20 years, I never missed a day ever. But when I started missing days with my practice, even though I was doing Qigong, I felt a little more anxious and on edge on the days that I hadn't meditated. And if I missed a couple days in a row, it was even worse. I wouldn't say that I felt like I wasn't getting any sense of inner guidance anymore, but my nervous system was different. So it's a powerful way to balance your physical body for sure. Meditation was, as I say, the first real practice that I had that started to change my life. The next one that came up was Reiki. Now, I had heard of Reiki. Sort of thought I knew what it was. It was something about people laying hands on people, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with touching other people, strangers, anybody. No. It sounds interesting. I believed that it worked because the people that told me about it, I trusted. But I really didn't seek it out. But I was at a Unity healing service. It was an evening, like a Wednesday night service at a Unity church, and someone had given some kind of a talk, and then they kind of dimmed the lights, and anybody who wanted healing could raise their hand, and you're just supposed to sit quietly and raise your hand. And after a certain amount of time, they had a couple people who were going to come around and stand behind you and just put their hands on your shoulders and share healing energy with you. And I thought, oh well, I'll try that. That sounds kind of nice. It doesn't sound scary or anything. So I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, and it's dim light, so there's no light like coming in through my eyelids, and there's this beautiful soft music, and I have my hand up, and I feel someone put their hands on my shoulders, so I relaxed my hand down and just sat there and enjoyed it. And it went on for a really long time, like till the end of the service, which I think was like 45 minutes or something, because there were a lot of people there that would want somebody to stop and give them some healing energy. So after the service, the lights came on, and they asked people. They said, "Well, does anybody have any questions or anything you want to share?" I said, "Well, it was beautiful. It was calming. I felt some warmth, and it was beautiful. But I feel really bad because it seems like that person spent the whole service with me, and there's like a lot of people here. How did they have time to see everybody?" And the person who was facilitating the service said, "Well, they weren't with you the whole time, but that's a very common reaction. Is once the energy starts to flow, you feel connected to divine source." And that person actually moved on and went down your row, and a lot of people had some energy. And I said, well, okay, well, that was really impressive. I want to learn more about that. So I talked to a woman after the service who had been the one who had worked with me, and she said she was a Reiki master, and she had a class coming up, and she would teach classes in her home if I was interested. So I was interested. I wanted to learn at this point because it was so powerful. I wanted to learn more about it, but my main goal was to learn to do self Reiki, because that's the first step that you can take. Is you can learn different hand positions and how divine energy flows in through the crown of your head and out through your hands, which is how Reiki works. It's not your energy that you're giving anybody. You are like a lightning rod. You're accessing divine energy that's available for all of us and sharing it with somebody who's asked for it. That's it. You're the conduit. And you learn to be the conduit through a very brief, like 2-day class. And the first step in that class is you learn to bring that energy in for yourself. And you do different hand positions, your neck, your head, whatever. And you can use that anytime you feel the need to calm your system or do some healing work. You can lay in bed at night and do some of the positions until you fall asleep. A lot of us instinctively, like if we hit our knee or our elbow, we'll put our hands on it for a moment, because our bodies were designed to bring in transforming healing energy to help us whenever we need it. And at a cellular level, we know that already. And what the Reiki class does is it kind of reawakens this knowledge that we're already wired and built for this. Reiki requires no tools, no specific instruments. It's just your intention that you would like to access divine source energy on behalf of your body or on behalf of a person who's requested it. The really cool bonus to Reiki is that if you are the conduit and you are sharing healing energy with someone, it's channeling through you first as it goes out to them. So in a way, you're getting a treatment of sorts just by being the conduit to bring it to somebody else. So it's a win-win-win. Reiki is a very beautiful, gentle energy. It can't be misdirected or used for ill. It also can't really be forced on anybody. If they're not interested, it's going to bounce off and go out into the universe. So if I'm with someone who's skeptical, who's thinking they might like to try it, I'll just say a prayer at the beginning that may this go where it is best used or best needed in the universe. Because if the person doesn't want it and I'm channeling it through, there are a lot of people out there asking for prayers and healing. It will go to some of them. So that's the Reiki journey. What I found in the class, though, was as much as I wanted to learn to give myself a treatment, I found such amazing joy and energy in laying hands on and touching another person and sharing that energy with them that I was a believer, a goner, whatever you want to call it. I had to do more, and I went on and took the next level of training. I did over 150 treatments for free with all my friends, coworkers, family, anybody who would have one, documented all of that so that I could then go on and become a Reiki master and teach people Reiki. And that was all happening in the mid 90s. And I don't have a lot of students anymore these days, but I still am so appreciative to that Reiki experience because that opened the door to all kinds of vibrational healing for me. The peaceful energy of meditating was the first step, and Reiki was the thing that then opened the door full. And I then studied a number of other modalities after Reiki. But Reiki is still accessible to a lot of people today. A lot of nurses and ER staff are trained in Reiki because Reiki can flow at any time. You don't have to be in a formal session or have somebody, primed for it. If you are cooking, if you are helping a patient, if you're a nurse, Reiki is flowing. If your intention in your heart is that you want to be of service, it's going to flow. And your hands may get warm or they may feel heat or see visions, impressions, colors, whatever. It's a very gentle and natural part of our human body to be able to access it and share it. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan, and I'm hoping if you would like to learn more, we can talk about more. I can steer you to some people who do teach online classes. I haven't been doing that for a while because I've explored so many other things and I'm bringing so many modalities together. But Reiki is a fabulous starting point, and meditation is also a wonderful tool that you can access without any investment in any kind of tools. It's just an investment in you and your time and your desire to find a more peaceful way to go through your day. So thanks for letting me share with you. Again, if you have any questions or observations and want to post them on my YouTube channel page, that would be great. I will get back to you on those. And if there's anything you'd like me to talk about on future sessions, let me know that too. Please be sure to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. There's no cost to it, there's no obligation to it. It just helps me have a sense of how many people want to hear what I have to say and helps me determine future topics and where I'm going to go with the channel. So thank you all again, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.